again. My name's Father Alex Steinmiller. I'm living and working in Detroit at St. Paul the Cross Community. And we Passionists offer to you our prayers and our support as all of us continue to live through this pandemic. And during this pandemic, we are able to take seriously the presence of God in different ways and in remarkable ways. This weekend, the third Sunday of Easter, we are celebrating the remarkable way in which Jesus reveals himself to two bewildered people. Remember, Jesus' purpose to come among us on this planet was to bring us back to the Father, to bring us closer to the Father. Everything Jesus does in the Gospels, he's revealing the caring, the attentive, the powerful love that his Father has for his creation. And that's us. So as we draw into this story today, we realize that Jesus politely, reverently approaches the two bewildered, very frustrated, sad men. They don't even recognize him. That's how sad, how depressed they are. And so Jesus wants to listen to their story. Do you believe that Jesus wants to listen to your story? Do you tell your story? Do you allow him to enter into it? These two men did. And as they did that, they realized a different kind of intimacy with God. Remember, the word intimacy means, into me you see. God, into me you see. And God says to us, into me you can see. And so I realize I'm talking to people who have been confined, quarantined for several weeks. And also I realize that there is some shortness going on, a shortness of food, shortness of what you're used to living, what you're used to eating, shortness of patience, shortness of putting up with each other. It's all part of this journey that God has us on. And there's something important, very important, that happens during that journey with Jesus. After these men pour out their struggles, Jesus responds with his story, the story of salvation. They're intrigued. He can summarize all of the New Testament, the prophets. And yet, he wants to go on. It says he's going to go on continuing to live, to walk on. And they make the choice to invite him to stay with them. Remember, we make the choice to invite Jesus to come in. And what happens? They sit down for a meal. And during the meal, he blesses, he breaks, and he shares bread, his body, with them. And then it says, and you can check this out, it says that he vanished from their sight. Where did he go? He vanished from their sight. He went inside them. He became part of them. And what did that becoming inside of them do for them? It sent them. It sent them out of their house. It sent them back to their struggling, fearful disciples. Just like when you and I receive the body of Christ, now right now, we can only receive spiritual communion. But no, nevertheless, it's real. It's spiritual. Remember, seeing God is totally different than any other human experience. The only analogy I can think of that's so real is when seeing God, this overwhelming presence, is so overwhelming, it's like someone putting their hand over my eyes. I can't see their hand. I can't see their hand. God is so close to me, I can't see God. And so as we continue our journey with God through this pandemic, and be aware of the people to whom you've been sent. Be aware of the people around you. Do you find yourself being attentive? Do you find yourself being generous? Do you find yourself just being willing to listen to what people have to say, as Jesus did? And as we do that, remember what St. Peter says in that second reading today. He says, behave. Behave with reverence during your time of stay. We don't know how long we're going to stay in this time, but during that time, let's bring the kingdom into our home by simply being another Christ, walking the walk and talking the talk with those around us. May God bless you, and we are praying for you.